After the bombshell news that Stadia was dropping its first-party stint, just purging the whole operations and getting rid of it, the Stadia community is in an uproar in certain sectors. Understandably so. However, they're starting to backlash in a very peculiar way. A way that, if it persists, will have negative ramifications on the growth of cloud gaming as we know it. How? We're going to get into it. See, as whoa, Stadia community turns on the platform in strange way. Let's get into it.
Stay sick cause I follow my gut. They say I was pushing my luck. I'ma push me a matte all black truck. Oh, I'm not sorry.
What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It's your boy MM2K of the Stadia Dosage platform. Do me a huge favor before we get into this one. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and rock those bells for notifications, please, so you know when your boy is dropping these SDO dailies. I appreciate all of y'all straight up. Y'all know the deal, y'all know the reason, y'all know the slogan. I'm not too proud to ask. Let's get into it. Okay, so you heard the bumper. Understandably so. After Stadia announced that it was getting rid of its first party, it really caused a lot of concern for the Stadia community, mainly because of the way that it was done. I've done a lot of content on this. I put where I particularly feel on this, where I lay my hat on this, and as tough of a pill as it is to swallow, if you look at what Stadia has said its intended purpose is for this, it would make sense if you were to take them at face value. And right now, personally, I'm choosing to take what they're saying at face value as far as we persist forward on this platform. I understand where other people may not want to do that. It's completely understandable. But whether I take them at face value or not, I truly believe that they completely bungled this messaging and they made a very difficult decision. They made it a lot worse. And every ticking moment that they don't address this properly, it just makes it worse and worse and worse and harder and harder and harder for them to move forward if it is a rebranding that they're truly trying to do. So with all that said, I want everybody to know that despite my personal feelings, I completely sympathize with those that have angst, that are angry, that are disappointed in regards to what's going on here. Absolutely, I get it. But what I don't get is letting that angst, that anger, and that disappointment take you down a road of just an unfathomable zero-sum game. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, just because Stadia does something wrong and there's another entity that does something slightly better, that doesn't mean that that entity did it right. We gotta stop grading on the curve and stop trying to make Stadia the zero-sum standard bearer. It's okay to make it the standard bearer in some elements, but the zero-sum standard bearer, which is, if Stadia messed this up, then and these people are doing it better, then it's right. That's wrong, and that's going to stifle cloud gaming, and I'm going to show you how that's happening right now. It's been problematic in the community really since day one. We're going to keep it real. If we want to restructure the house, we're going to have to clean out our closets. It's been symptomatic since day one, where people have issue with Stadia, and that's being brought up 24/7. Some of it rightfully so, some of it may, exaggerate, whatever. But then things that are abundantly wrong with other platforms, not a word, not a whisper. And again, that's making Stadia the standard bearer of what cloud gaming should be. And even though I prefer Stadia, I don't think that's a healthy way to deal with platform A versus platform B versus platform Y and versus platform Z. It's not a healthy way to do that, and it's not going to progress cloud gaming the way that we want it to, because we got to be honest, there are just mainstream entities that want to see cloud gaming die altogether, and they're just starting with Stadia. And we're playing directly into their hands by making it, again, a zero-sum game to where if Stadia does something this way, someone does it slightly better, okay, we're gonna knock on Stadia until we knock that off. Then guess what happens? They slide product B over to the A slot, and then they start attacking that until one by one, all of cloud gaming is diminished. And again, I'm someone who sympathizes with the anger and angst, but we gotta get better than this, all right? So I'm gonna stop screaming, I'm gonna show you what's going on, and we'll talk about it on the back end. But first and foremost, you know how we do. Let me show you something. All right, so this is a tweet from Matt Piscatella, known infamously from the NPD group that measures dedicated device production and sales and revenue and stuff like that. But he happened to quote this, so I thought this was great, a great snippet to take for this video, so I'm going to do that. He takes a snippet of what the new CEO or new assigned CEO of Amazon says about their rocky stint in game development. And here's what they say, quote, "Though we haven't consistently succeeded yet in Amazon Game Studios, I believe we will if we hang in there. Amazon's next CEO says he's committed to making video games." Now, yes, it missed your rival going out here and making such a radical change, whether it's needed or not, and then bungling the message on that change as an observer for marketing points. Yes, you're going to get that. This is what they should do, because Amazon hasn't officially closed down all of its studios. But a vote of confidence on Amazon beyond that is going well beyond the pale. Why do I say that? Amazon has been doing this a lot longer than Stadia. They actually have output, and they've bungled everything. They went and subcontracted to Crytek Engine, certain remnants of that, make Lumberyard, hired all these studios, hired all this talent, and then I think even before Luna even started, they fired a bunch of people before before Luna even hit the scene, or any of their games hit the scene. So I think they fired like over 200 people, I believe. I remember reading all this. So with that being said, they went to the drawing board once before and said, okay, we got to get rid of these people. We got to make this leaner and meaner. And they started over again, and they dropped Crucible and New World, and all that fizzled. Crucible has been canceled. I think there was another game they were working on that has been canceled. And New World is in limbo. So now they're going to go back and do it again. They don't get no points beyond the atypical, hey, while my competitor is down, I'm going to get him a little kick to the ribs. They don't get no points beyond that. Amazon has bungled their whole studio development thing so badly that just a simple statement alone is not enough. They need to do more. If you are a standard bearer, if you like cloud gaming, and you're a standard bearer for cloud gaming, jumping all over this, and dare I say, getting all creamy knuckled over this comment is well beyond the pale. Yes, I said it. I'm gonna have to go there in this video, I'm sorry. They don't get no points beyond being more persistent than Stadia, and Stadia right now should not be the standard bearer. The standard bearer has to be well above Stadia and above Amazon. Stadia bit off more than they could chew. Amazon needs to get better, because I can't plug an HDMI port into this comment and play a good game. Amazon has to do better, way better. You don't get points for that. Vague comment number 2, which everybody is dancing in the rain for, is from Phil Spencer. Now this one's even worse. Phil Spencer says, great to see the increasing list of Xcloud games with touch input. Huh? I don't even want to read the rest. You can go read it. I'm not even going to read the rest. You're trying to tell me the company that has ushered in this whole talk about cloud gaming. Remember, right before the launch of the consoles, he was telling everybody, I ain't got to sell you a console. He was making it seem like that at the beginning of this launch. I ain't got to sell you no. Remember, he told you that when the Series X launch, the retail version, not the beta, but the retail version of Xcloud was supposed to launch simultaneously. They quietly swept that under the rug. Justin, y'all got short-term memories. I don't. And the best you could come up with in contrast to the enemy that you said, oh, they keep me up at night, is we got more games with touch input. No, you don't even get no points as far as I'm concerned. That was pathetic. But despite that, despite those truths that I hold self-evident, the Stadia community is losing their ish over those two vague comments. And here's my thing. We can't fall into the trap that the average gaming community wants us to fall into. The average gaming community is upset because they don't like the prospects of what Stadia represents. That is a cloud gaming platform that will someday take away the need of dedicated devices. Now, nothing Stadia has said has even alluded to the fact that that prospect is around the corner. I mean, they ultimately want it to be that way, but nothing they've said has made that prospect be around the corner. The closest thing that they've done, which was foolish, was talk about the teraflops. But beyond that, if you pay close attention factually to Stadia, they haven't given you the indication that they're looking to take away your dedicated devices tomorrow. If you listen to Jack Buser and everybody else, they've consistently been telling you about how this whole process is in its infancy stage. So that fear mongering that's coming from the mainstream media is unwarranted. But because they've done it and they started it, they want to one by one knock off cloud gaming. And they're going to start with Stadia because it's the boldest proposition. So as Stadia does something well, it just gets glossed over. And when it does something bad, they go to the other cloud gaming services and say, see, they didn't do it. See, we ain't got nothing against cloud gaming. We think it's cool. They didn't do it until Stadia's gone. And now let's go into hypotheticals. Let's say if Stadia is gone. Do you think they're going to be done? Hell no. They're going to take, let's say, for instance, GFN, slide into Stadia's spot and kill that. Then when GFN is gone, they're going to take Amazon Luna, slide that over and kill that, and so on and so on. There's an agenda here. We've connected all the dots and we've tried to educate you the best way that we could about this. So you're playing right into their hands by always making a synonymous comparison to, oh, if you did this better than Stadia, then you're doing it right. No. Yes. Is it good that Amazon said we're going to keep trying? Yes. But it's not enough. It's not enough. They have bungled this tremendously. They need to do better. Is it good that Phil Spencer came out here and said they got more touch control? I can't even get it. They got more touch controls. No, it ain't good enough. They were the standard bearer of cloud gaming, and now he's talking about I can now play Sea of Thieves. Come on, man. I can play Bleeding Edge before it gets canceled with touch controls. Like, what are we doing here? Stop it. Here's the thing. I'm disappointed in how Stadia has handled the messaging of this. I do believe that this is a restructuring, but if you don't believe it, I'm not mad at you for not believing that. That being said, let's get out of this realm, because again, this has been symptomatic since day one, since I've been in this community. Let's get out of this realm to where we make only Stadia the standard bearer. Stadia does a lot of great things. I mean, a lot of things that can't be rivaled when you bundle it all together. I mean, the performance is the best. I'm sorry. You may get better fidelity in other places, but that fidelity is not consistent. The performance is not consistent. In a lot of ways, you got to trade off. Either you're getting fidelity or frames, and Stadia, you ain't got to play that game. They always make sure there's a good balance. I get GFN has ray tracing, but ray tracing at 1080p just ain't cutting it, Jack. I'm sorry for the masses. No, it's not cutting it. I'm sorry. And with the sacrifice that you got to make for ray tracing, it ain't worth it right now. That's why you don't really hear ray tracing, all like that, except in a Digital Foundry video. And you got more and more people now saying that ray tracing ain't the lick, as we say in the hood. It ain't the lick right now. It just ain't. So, with all that being said, we want cloud gaming to succeed. Let's just put out the worst hypothetical out there. Let's say Stadia does go away. I want GFN to assure me, if that's where I go next, that they fixed this issue with the inconsistency game from game. They fixed the ghosting issue, because that's what the mainstream gaming community sees when they pick up GFN. They just talk more positively about it because they want to use it as ammo. They want us to fight against each other and cannibalize each other and do their dirty work for them. But when they talk about GFN, how come they ain't on GFN? Because there's issues with it. Those issues need to be addressed. I'd like to see that out of GFN. Where the hell is the 4K? When is it coming? When I boot up Remnant, I don't want it to feel like that I'm playing it on the Atari 2600. When it comes to Amazon, stop trying to hide behind the beta and giving out things in little driblets. Where's the multiplayer format gonna be at? Where's your consistency game from game to game? Why is it that when I play on it, it's horrible, but somebody else plays on it, it's fine? I know my infrastructure is clean because I use Stadia and other things. Handle the erratical nature of your gaming platform. And where's my a la carte purchases? What other channels are on the horizon? Just because beta doesn't mean that you ain't got to say nothing. Speak up. Give me confidence in this platform. Because believe you me, if we don't hold these other platforms to a standard, the other game community will. And trust me, we cannot expect this great way to game to frankly get any better in any long-lasting, significant way unless we do so. Period. And that's it from your boy MM2K. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below, because like I always say, who cares what I think? But if you did like what I had to say, check out the links below to follow me. Those links will lead you to the Broadband Bullies, PNTS Network, Hard Knock Digital Culture, and yes, the Stadia Dosage. I'm sorry I had to go there. But sometimes what happens, and excuse my French here, what I see in the Stadia community right now, and what I've seen in the beginning, is, and excuse my French, I'm gonna give you a time to wind this down before, because I'm about to curse here. But it's a great analogy that I always use. All right, you ready? Turn it down because I know people listen to this on the go. Just because the cup of piss goes down smoother than the shit sandwich, it doesn't make the cup of piss an acceptable beverage. And that's what we got going on here. It's not a zero-sum game. There has to be standards across the board for everybody. Cloud gaming community, get it together. Get on that stage and do it that way, or this thing will fizzle out altogether. Have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.